evening, and tonight we take you inside one of the most dangerous countries on earth.
According to police statistics, during the months of January and February, one person has died of a violent crime almost every hour.
Young people feel they have no choice but to join a gang.
When most people hear El Salvador, one thing comes to mind: danger. For decades, this tiny country has been defined by news headlines. Gangs, murders, chaos. News anchors called it the most dangerous place in the world. One death every single hour.
For us, it was normal to see dead bodies in streets every day.
A place where life seemed impossible. And to be honest, that's all I knew too. But then I wondered, what if there's more to the story? What if El Salvador isn't what we think it is? To understand El Salvador today, you have to look back. In the 1980s, the country was ripped apart by civil war. It wasn't a distant conflict. It was fought in neighborhoods, on farmlands, and in villages. Tens of thousands of people died, and many more fled. For families who stayed, survival meant adapting. Curfews, hiding, and silence. When the war ended, peace didn't equal safety. Instead, gangs rose up in the 1990s, many tied to deportations from the US. Almost overnight, violence became part of daily life. By the early 2000s, El Salvador earned its grim nickname, the murder capital of the world. Some years saw more than 6,000 murders, unthinkable for a country smaller than the size of Massachusetts. Imagine an entire small town destroyed in a single year. For Salvadorians, these weren't just numbers. They were classmates, coworkers, neighbors. People adjusted their lives around fear. Kids didn't play outside after dark. Families locked themselves in at night. Leaving home meant risk, and a big one. And for outsiders, El Salvador became a warning, a place you simply just didn't go. But the culture never vanished. Music still played. Markets stayed open. Life kept moving forward. Even during the worst years, Salvadorians held on to identity and to resilience. Today, the country is changing again. Massive government crackdown has put tens of thousands of gang members behind bars. The murder rate has dropped dramatically. To some, this is salvation. To others, it raises some serious human rights questions. But one thing is undeniable. The streets that I walked felt safer than the headline suggested. I saw kids in uniforms walking home from school, I saw markets buzzing, and I saw life. So when I decided I wanted to see if there was more about this story than what people were saying on the news, I packed my bags, boarded a plane, and set out to discover the El Salvador I'd only ever read about. My trip began at Mazada, a jungle treehouse resort on the Pacific coast. It's the kind of place that feels hidden from the world. My room was perched high in the trees, with large nets strung underneath like hammocks over the jungle, and a balcony that opened to the Pacific Ocean. At night, the waves crashed beneath me. During the day, every corner of the resort felt like a mini escape, one that was colorful, quiet, and alive. For me, Mazada was home base. The place where I could pause, look out over the water, and remind myself the reasons why I travel. Even in a country with such a heavy reputation, there was a peace here, calm, and a chance to breathe. Once I left the resort and stepped into daily life, the first thing I noticed was how alive everything felt. Markets were buzzing, buses were rumbling through the streets, vendors were calling out their goods. This wasn't a country that seemed frozen in fear. It was a country that was living, working, and moving forward. For years, the only story told about El Salvador was the danger, but that wasn't the story that I saw. I saw smiles, laughter, people going about their days. Of course, safety is complicated here, but for me, as a visitor, I never once felt unsafe. Instead, I felt incredibly welcomed. In San Salvador, I joined a city tour that took me through its landmarks, the towering churches, the busy plazas, and the colonial streets. The city is full of contrasts, old buildings scarred by earthquakes and war, standing next to modern shops, barbed wire walls just down the street from murals that were bursting with color. You can kind of feel the weight of the history everywhere you walk. But the stronger impression was culture, the food, the music, the art. It's everywhere. People take pride in it. El Salvador may be small, but its identity felt incredible. The longer I stayed, the more I thought about the contrasts, the headlines that defined El Salvador versus the reality that I was actually seeing. Violence and peace, fear and resilience, past and present. This is a country that's still wrestling with its history, but also one that refuses to be defined only by it. It reminded me that no place is simple, no country is just statistics, and the truth isn't always in the headlines. It's in the people that you meet, the streets that you walk, and the sunsets that you watch. As someone who's really only traveled the US and Europe, visiting El Salvador changed the way that I think about travel, and the way that I think about people. It reminded me that stories aren't often as simple as they seem, and some are incredibly complex. And the headlines rarely capture the whole truth. El Salvador isn't perfect, no place is, but what I found here is a country full of hope, resilience, and life. For such a small country, El Salvador carries an enormous story, and for me, this is a reminder of why I travel. To go see these places for myself, because sometimes the truth isn't anything like you expect. So I encourage you, the next time you may see a bad news headline, maybe go experience it for yourself. I'm not saying drag yourself into an active war zone, but maybe just look a little behind what the people on the news are saying and try to look at the stories of the individual people of a specific place. It can really bring you into a new world and help you experience a place even more. Even though this was a shorter documentary, I just wanted to give a quick thank you to everybody that ended up watching this video, and hopefully you at least took something from it just to kind of explore beyond the headlines. Editing the music, I put it all together. All the songs are going to be linked in the description, and everything else was just kind of my footage that I took along the trip. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys can check out some of my other stuff and enjoy some of that too.